Trying to figure out how do I, continue living. This particular student decided not to sit next to me after realizing that I have a disability.
But this person is in an abusive relationship and they want to leave. What do you think they should do?
I had never met any other person who has a disability.
How can I help? Do they need help?
Yes. They have a disability. They feel like even if I go and report, what will be done?
Simama, usiogope wewe. Simama, weongea wewe. Simama, usiogope wewe. Tukomeshe ukatili wa kijinsia.
Hello, good people. Welcome to Simama Talks. My name is Celeste Ngashohe. How have you been since the last time we saw each other? For me, I've been well, and I thank God for this day. So today, I have a guest with me. Her name is Magdalene, and she is very, very passionate about advocating for disabled people. And in this case, disabled people facing gender-based violence, because they face more challenges than abled people, which I didn't know until we had a conversation, and now for sure they do. And they are not really included in so many other things, but today in this case we're going to talk about them in gender-based violence. So without further ado, let her tell us what she does, who she is. So to you, Maggie. Karibu sana.
Asante sana. Thank you so much for having me. As you've mentioned, my name is Magdalene Chisoli. I am a fashion content creator. I'm a street model, community manager, and an advocate when it comes to people with disability.
Awesome. Yes. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you. You were the first person that made me start thinking of, as much as we're creating awareness, there's a different level of us creating awareness ikikuja kwa people with disabilities.
Okay.
Because I have come to realize that they are facing more challenges because of their lives, of how they are, which we will discuss tukiendelea. So tell us, what do you do? Because Niliona, you are you are advocating, you're working with a company that sells the prosthetics.
Yes.
So unaweza tuambia a little bit about that?
Yes, so I work at SACLEG as a community manager, and my role basically involves, trying to create a community of amputees who are empowered and they're knowledgeable, they're willing to share experiences and just be proud to embrace who they are. And this is the reason why we even want to have such a community, is because we realized majority of people who've been amputated, whether it's through road accident, diabetes, cancer, snake bites, and even motorbikes.
Yeah.
They really don't know how to navigate life because this is something new to them. And, trying to figure out how do I, continue living, because this is like a second chance that life has given, or God has given, someone to live their lives purposefully. Yeah. And so we want more people to know that there's this category of persons with disability, because we also felt they're not seen, they're not represented. And, someone coming from the remote area, someone, who doesn't know that there are people like me, we needed to create awareness. And so, that is what my role really major is. And also giving amputees and their caregivers to share their stories. Because when they don't share, how will people know about, such stories?
Yeah.
Yes.
So, you are an amputee.
Yes.
And I'm glad that when we met, I think in March.
Yes.
When you came to me and you're like, I love what you're doing, but I feel like disabled people, not only amputees, someone who is blind, someone who can't hear, who can't talk, they also face gender-based violence, but there's a different way. I think they face discrimination because they can't express themselves, or maybe someone can't run away, and I'm glad that you actually opened my eyes on that matter. Yes. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. Because now I had to go dig deeper and even think about it, and it was true. It is true that we I don't think we are not ignorant. It's just that it's like we do not know.
Yes.
Or we do not see it until now, and I'm glad that we can see it now.
Yes.
So before we go to the conversation on GBV and disabled people, you can tell us about your story, where you grew up from, ulizaliwa wapi.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for such a good question. I was born in Kitale, and for me, my case of, I would say amputation, it's not like I was involved in an accident or cancer or diabetes. Mine is congenital. By congenital, I mean I was born like that. So I don't know how it feels like to have both legs. It's because of my prosthetic that I was able now to, it's not the same, but at least I'm able to know, okay, so this is how people feel when they're standing, when they are walking. And so my childhood, the better part of my childhood, I was using a very long crutch for mobility. And anyone who's used any kind of crutch will tell you that it's very cumbersome. And for me, I think majority of the things or challenges I used to face using the crutch was, my armpits darkening, my clothes getting torn, from the armpits area and also at the knee joint. But I'm grateful after, clearing my class 8, went to a special school. And for me, this was a new thing. I had never met any other person who has a disability. Yes. My childhood was amazing. I was never bullied. I was never called names. All my childhood friends embraced me. So I never felt like out of place or someone who is has a challenge. But it's only until I went to the special school, and remember, none of my parents had prepared me or even my relatives to let me know that we are taking you to a special school. There are other people like you, but with different types of disabilities.
Wait, when you say special school,
yes,
what do you mean?
Special schools, these are schools that accommodate persons with disability. You could be on a wheelchair. So they are different. There's the school for the blind. So it's only the blind who, learn from that school. We have the physical disability. So with the physical, it could be someone on a wheelchair, someone who is using calipers, someone who is using, prosthetics.
What is a caliper?
A caliper, this is a metal kind of way of thing that is used by people who've lost, not really lost, but their legs are kind of weak because of polio. So
they do have the legs.
Yes, they have the legs, but they are very weak. They can't even walk or move with them. And so that particular caliper, there are 2 metals on both sides, and then it is connected to a pair of shoes that kind of gives them support to be able to walk. So the specific special school I went to was catering for persons with physical disability. Yes. So it was new for me to see people with disability for the first time, someone using a wheelchair, crutches, it really took a toll on me. For me personally, it made me feel unloved. I felt unappreciated because I was like, okay, so now I confirm. As much as I was told I was born like that, but why are my parents taking me to such a school? It showed that I don't matter. Because why? Mbona wanakuja kunitupa?
Also, you felt like unawekwa kwa watu.
Yes, when they don't matter. Like, so I am not like them, But I'm grateful they took me there because now I understood that I'm not alone and there are different types of disabilities. But how do I live my life moving forward? And that's where now I started facing, I'd say, a bit of discrimination. As much as it was a special school, we used to call them regulars. So these are people without any form of disability. And they made me now see, like, I need to hide who I am. I don't need to talk about who I am. I also face stigma. And so I think at that point in my life, I never wanted to talk about my disability at all. Even in campus, none. I think only a few of my friends used to know that I have a disability, but me having such a conversation and explaining what really happened to me, it never used to happen. I even remember one of my roommates, I think it's only 1 or 2 who got to see now my prosthetic by then, because even when I'm going to shower, when I come back, I'll make sure I'm all covered up. They will
Oh my
not see a
God.
single part of my prosthetic. And then also with my trousers, I
So
would
ulikuwa unavaa like you never wore.
Nikki, yes, I would wear trousers and long dresses, but I wouldn't want someone to see my leg. Yes.
Okay. So unasema ukienda hadi kuoga ulikuwa, but how are you going kuoga na your prosthetic? Ama you can go shower with it?
No. Now, remember by the time I was joining, campus, I had a different prosthetic, not like the one I have right now.
Okay.
And so what I used to do is, because I was staying in a hostel, my room was on ground floor. So I could not use like first floor, second floor.
Yeah.
And so the rooms on ground floor, we used to have our washrooms outside.
Yeah.
So I would take whether it's my towel, my lasso, but I'm still wearing my clothes, all covered up. I'll go, carry my water, shower, and then wipe. Again, still wear the same clothes. Or if I have to now cover up with my towel or lasso, I'll make sure I cover the upper part with the towel. And because the towel is not long enough to, hide again my prosthetic leg, I would again add, a lasso and make sure even if it's not just one lasso, even two. And in a room where we are staying 2 people, of course, when you're preparing and your roommate is also preparing, you will definitely see, what the other person is doing.
Yeah.
But for me, I'll make sure even if I'm applying any oil on my skin, that when it comes to my leg, I'm like, okay, am I covered up? Am I showing? No, it's not showing. Okay, no, I can continue.
So, so sorry.
It's okay.
You said in primary school you had a beautiful, nice time. Like you can't complain about anyone looking down on you.
Yes.
Or even your self-esteem was great.
Yes.
Do you think this time, you said the people that were, when you walikuwa ni kama wana discriminate, they were regular people?
Yes.
Able-bodied people?
Yes.
What are some of the examples that made you, because I'm trying to think, you were already, your self-esteem was good, and then in high school, it goes down that even in campus, you're hiding.
Yes.
What are some of the things that maybe you were said and you were like,
Yeah, so I'll give a good example, especially in high school and also a connection to when I was in campus, is that when, you meet new people, these are students who are also in the same class as you and you interact with them. But you see at the beginning, whether I'm standing or seated, they might not tell that I have a disability until I tell them. Or when I walk, there's a way I limp a bit, so someone might notice like, okay, what's wrong with her leg or what's wrong with her walking style? And so I met some of the students who were surprised when they saw me, when they realized that I have a disability, and they really literally avoided me at all cost. When, for example, like I've met you now, and when I meet you the next time, expect to, say hi, greetings, catch up maybe, or just say, I'm rushing somewhere, I hope to see you again. But you see, the moment you see me, it's like you take your phone and you pretend like you're making a call, and you literally turn at that particular point and go. For me, I'll have to ask myself questions. And I think another example was when we went for a trip somewhere in Masai Mara, and the students we were with, one of them was very good at the beginning, like we would have conversations, but when they noticed I had a disability, where we were seated, remember we were in a bus and everyone is sitting on their own seat, but this particular student decided not to sit next to me after realizing that I have a disability, and they went and sat to a different seat. So you see, these are some of the experiences that made me realize, okay, then my leg is the problem. I don't need to show it off, because when I show it off, the reaction I'm getting from other people is not good. Yeah, it's not good. It's demotivating. It's I don't know. So those are some of the things that kind of made me now start having self-esteem issues and insecurities, and not be open to even sharing my story.
Before you get to self-esteem, did you talk to your mom, your dad? Like, did you share, this is what I'm facing, you guys, as in my life has changed? Did you ever share with them?
So I like to call myself a community child because I was not just raised by my parents. I was raised by my grandparents, my uncles, my aunties. And yes, I was in different places during these seasons, but I never, I'd be lying if I say I ever shared with them. In fact, some of them are getting to hear some of these stories and they're like, we never, but we just, yeah, like for us, we just embraced you. We were like, you know, you are our child, you know, you are our niece, you are our granddaughter, and we should embrace you the way you are. But we never really knew what you're going through. But I also understand because for them, this was also new.
Yeah.
Nobody in my family, from my mother's side, from my father's side, has any form of disability, you know. And them having, you know, a relative, someone that they love with a disability, they're also trying to figure out how do we, you know, walk with her in this journey. And I'm grateful that none of them ever hid me or made me, you know, feel like, huyu, wacha tumfungie huku, asiende shule, you know, she cannot be independent and stuff like that. I'm grateful they were really there to hold me and work with me.
We are grateful. Your family was really, Yani, thank you so much, Familia Magdalene. We are grateful because we've had stories. I have had stories that children wamefungiwa, hawapelekwi shule, like they're not being treated the same way. As much as they're different, wacha waende shule. Let them experience the outside world. Unaona, like even in campus. And I think even though you went through the discrimination and all that, you can agree with me that it made you who you are today. So let's go to self-esteem. Where did you now like think, you know what, I'm worth it? I will love myself as I am. And I will not hide myself anymore. Let's start from there. When was this day? What happened?
This is a story I like sharing a lot because it's been a journey. Yes, I have family members, I have friends who used to talk to me and tell me, you matter, you're beautiful, you're okay. We don't understand why you're hiding your leg. But there are these two sisters. Oh my goodness, God bless them. They invited me. I had cleared campus by then, and so I was free. So one of them reached out to me. She's like, you know, you've never been to the coast, especially Malindi. And they were like, please, come and, you know, experience the weather here, you know, the scenery of this particular place, and open to going to Malindi. And when I reached there, remember, I was wearing trousers. I was wearing very long outfits. So I carried the trousers, I carried my, you know, long clothes. But when I reached there, the weather is very different. It's not like the weather here in Nairobi. And so my friends were like, you need to change. Why are you wearing this, you know, baggy stuff? We are taking you to the market. So they took me to the market. We bought a short and some t-shirt. Now, they told me to wear it and try it out. I gave them a very hard time. But one of them decided, we are not leaving this short. I am buying this for her. So she bought for me. We went to their house and they told me, Ebu, if you have to wear it where we are not looking at you, just go to the bedroom, wear and look at yourself in the mirror, and then let us know. If you still don't want it, that will be okay. So for me, I decided to go. I locked myself in one of the rooms, wore the shirt and the short. Damn! When I looked at myself in the mirror, the first one I saw, I was like, God is good. Why am I, you know, hiding my leg? Why am I not showing, you know, who I really am? And I would say that was the beginning now of my journey of just embracing myself and loving myself, because they also reminded me that, you know, don't focus on people, you know, because you will never please everyone. It's your life you're living. So live your life the best way you know how. And also my family members, kudos to them, because they never gave up on me still. They were just like, yes, Ebu, do this. And so also the first time that my family members, especially my cousins, got to now see me wearing a short dress in public was when one of my cousins was graduating. And so I wore my dress. I could see their reactions. They were looking at me like, is she sure she's going to walk like this? And remember, we are coming from Syokimau. We are going to KU. So when we reached in town, I started regretting. Because I could see people looking at me. You know, they're trying to compare. So they're looking at my face and they're also looking at my leg. And they're like, you know, when you're looking at something and you're like, are my eyes telling me the truth? Ama, I'm just doing my own things. And I would tell them, Ama, I just go back to the house and change. And they're like, Pana, you've come all this way. Tunaenda. And so we went. My self-esteem was kind of boosted. And from there, things, you know, opened up. Because I also got another opportunity to do something, again, now in public. Yeah. Because I love dancing. I love fashion.
Oh, nice.
So I got an opportunity to, you know, dance, again, through the organization I'm working with. They were doing a campaign of just showing that someone who has an amputation can still do some of the things that they love doing. Yeah. And so I was able to, again, wear a very nice short, and I danced, and I felt nice. So ever since, I have never, like, felt bad about sharing my story and also just showing my disability.
And will tell us how do you feel freedom?
Yes. Oh my goodness.
Like you don't
there's
have
peace.
Yes.
There's freedom. There's joy. There is, I think, gratefulness. For me, I'm like, okay, God needed me to go through that to be where I am right now. Because I sometimes feel like if I hadn't, like, gone through that, I wouldn't have appreciated my journey. And I want more people who, whether it's a parent or someone with any form of disability, to embrace themselves. And they never know, you know, these kids, who they will be in the future.
Awesome. So kudos to your friends.
Walinikalia ngumu.
Buy your short.
Walinikalia ngumu. They bribed me. I remember they harassed me. Like, they literally tried to do every other thing to make sure that at least I get to wear that short and just look at myself in the mirror and see how that feels.
And you see, fashion, you're just speaking fashion. So so I think I would encourage everyone, when you have a friend that is differently abled, he or she has a disability, don't be an enabler of them kujificha, sindio?
Yes.
Because as Maggie has said, there is freedom, there is peace. And, you know, even us, like abled people, if you have something that you don't like, now wish you may feature, really, there's no peace. But when you embrace it and just carry it, and I've seen your TikToks, and I'm thinking, ooh, girl, like, you're walking in town, you're shooting in town. I really love that. Because don't limit your life because of people. Yes. Because hata wakikuangalia mguu surely hawakuchange kitu.
They never
change anything. And also sometimes inabidi tu ujichoche, si ndio?
Yes.
So we agree, ujichoche, and don't hide anything. Yes. So let's take a short break, and then we'll come back and you'll tell us about your journey, town, kutembea, fashion, and all that, and dancing. So, usiende mbali, we'll be back in a short while. This is Simama Talks, and I'm Celeste Ngashohe. See you soon.
Celeste?
Yeah? Sema?
Rada, nadu?
Natumai nini poster. Nashia kwa wase.
Oh, GBV. Oh, it's an event. You have an event?
Are you serious? Ujui kuhusu event?
Oh, sijaiona. GBV. Niambie kuhusu nini? Simama Initiative.
GBV Forum. So we are going to talk about GBV. Have conversations on how we can one step forward from it.
Okay. Oh, GBV ni like violence, gender-based violence. Hivi kuna beshte yangu mimi kama anafaa kama. Na ni boy manze.
Kwani anafanya?
Anapiga mwana dem yake.
Guy.
Like you can tell tu ni dem tu amempiga. Na kumgwara, imagine.
Na sio kama na yeye. Kwanza umebuy ticket. Na hata
nitabuy
event
3500 only. Ndio nitakam na yeye by the way.
Kuja na yeye.
At least I interact, you know.
Na pia ujue as much as kama hujapitia GBV, imagine you can come so that you learn. Because mimi na learn sana. Okay. Hebu kama na yeye.
Kutakuwa na food?
Definitely.
Location?
Iko pale Best Western Premier. behind
from
Sarit.
8 a.m. So the whole day, in short to the whole day.
The whole day. Alafu tutakuwa na 3 segments. Ya kwanza ni gender based violence awareness, and then ya pili mental health. Kwanza
Sana mental health.
Si ndio? Mental health, ujue kutakuwa na specialists. Kutakuwa na madaktari wenye wamekuwa kwa desk ya gender based violence.
So ni kama tunakuja tu therapy, kuuliza maswali, psychologists, kutakuwa na watu kabisa wamedeal na mental health, and then the third segment kutakuwa na watu wana share stories zao. Unaona hapo unaweza interact na watu and then just get contacts, get therapists. Okay.
Sawa, ulikuwa unataka
I will be there. 20 sets.
Sawa. Guy, manze, I'll come to finish. Welcome back. I'm still with Magdalene, and I'm really enjoying our conversation because I'm learning a lot, and I hope you're learning because this is something that we don't talk a lot sana. So yeah, let's go to your fashion, your dancing. Because I've watched your TikTok, you're dancing, and like I love the fact that like you've stopped caring. Hata naona watu mkishoot, watu town wako hivi, but you're still like I'm gonna catwalk.
Yes.
So tell us about that.
I think for me it's because as a young child still, I used to love to dress up, and there were people I'd look at and be like, wow, they're really well dressed, and it's something I've always wanted to do.
Yeah.
So I think as much as I had a disability, I was also trying to look at what are some of the things that I love doing, I enjoy doing. And some of the things that I love doing is dancing and also fashion. And so for me, modeling in town is like me sharing, you know, my story without words.
Yeah.
And showing people that disability is not inability. Being disabled does not mean that I don't have ability, you know, to do some things. And I feel like persons with disabilities are consumers too.
Yeah.
And I feel like we are not included, especially, you know, in such places where we just embrace who we are.
Yeah.
And so I enjoy dancing, so I would either dance to a trending song or a trending music. I would just model, you know, with my different clothes. These are outfits that I've bought.
Yeah.
And yes, I love it's something that if someone wakes me up in the middle of the night and they're like, do this, nitaamka, nichukue nguo yangu nivae, and I do it. And it's been an amazing journey because it's opened so many doors for me. And I feel also just hearing from other people, like I remember, I think it was around 2 weeks ago, I was doing, you know, my normal street modeling, and I could see the reaction of people, either those ones in their personal cars, in matatus, and I remember there was one gentleman who came and approached my photographer, and he was like, I like what she's doing. I'd love to just sponsor her, even if it's just one shoot. I'm willing to pay for her. And this gentleman paid for me.
That's
you know,
amazing.
it reminded me that they are kind people, and they are really looking at, you know, this is a human being just like me. But I like the fact that they've embraced who they are, and they are willing to also encourage others, whether it's parents who have children with disability, to know that they also matter.
Yeah, they do. And I love that for you because you know, kujitolea hivo, from what we've had, it takes a lot. It takes you knowing yourself, self-awareness, and just accepting who you are. And, you know, telling people, you know, I'm the package, deal with me the way I am. And kujichota, which is amazing. And you have no idea how many people you are encouraging, because you see TikTok, social media is very, very is very crucial in our society right now. Because you never know, someone maybe hana mguu, like in your case, ama hana something that, you know, considered to be an abled person. Na naona ako like, wow, I can actually do that.
Exactly.
So thank you so much for being a voice to
Thank you.
to the world of people with disabilities. So let's go to, you are very passionate about speaking for people with disabilities and literally wanting them to be included, which is amazing, because when you look at so many discussions, crucial discussions in our society, sana hawakui considered, or rather we kind of don't think about them.
Yes.
So tell us about how your passion for advocating for them started.
Okay. I think for me, when I had embraced myself, I was able to interact also with other persons with disabilities. And I get to hear their stories. You know, we share our experiences and stuff like that. Personally, I've never faced or experienced gender-based violence. But now the people I've interacted with who have disabilities are the one who've made me realize that we don't get to, you know, share such stories, whether it's in mainstream media or even in social media. Like, let me say, last year, even this year, we've had so many cases of people who've experienced gender-based violence, whether it's a man or whether it's a, but basically women who are the majority of the ones who face gender-based violence. And I've met persons with disability, you know, who get to let me know that, imagine I've gone through this, but I have never had, you know, an option or a way of where do I report this. For example, I'll give you an example. Someone who is deaf, if they have experienced gender-based violence and they have to go and report the matter to the police station, tell me, do we have sign language interpreters at the police stations? How will this person be able to communicate or even to share what has happened to them to the police station? Someone who is blind, they have been molested, they've been violated, and they have to go again report the case. This is someone who cannot see, so therefore they cannot identify their perpetrator. But how do they, you know, report and make sure that it is the right person who is, you know, arrested for what they have done? I would say, like, severe disabilities like cerebral palsy, you know, where this particular person with disability, you know, they're being taken by their caregivers. And sometimes when such things happen, if the caregiver has to go and report, they are either, you know, they receive threats. They are probably, you know, told, if you say this, we are going to kill you, we are going to harm you. And so they don't get to report such matters. And so these are some of the things that I feel that should be addressed. How do we not close the gap right now, but at least try to ensure that we include also people living with disability? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So when we talk about the government,
Yes.
and we in this case we are talking about gender-based violence.
Yes.
So you think that there are no ways that have been incorporated to consider these people, either deaf, blind, or with the severe disabilities?
Yes.
For example, the one you've given us in a police station.
Yes.
What would you advise for the government to do to have them, like, included?
I think the government is doing its best. And one thing I appreciate is not just the government. We have organizations that target different persons with disabilities. And we also have the KNCHR, the Human Rights, you know, Commission, which is also playing their role. So for the government, I think they should just continue, you know, creating more awareness and trying to also ensure there is things like accessibility. You know, one of the people I forgot to mention is someone who's using a wheelchair. And they also have to go and access, you know, a certain police station and report the matter. Is the police station, you know, accessible? So I think what the government just needs to amplify is just creating more awareness, trying to make sure that the police stations are also accessible. Do we also have, like, a sign language interpreter? Do we have someone who is willing to support a person with disability once they come to the police station to report, and even in the courts, to ensure that such things happen? Because the moment it's been reported to the police station, the case has to be taken to the court. But now, once at the court, what are some of the things that needs to be done, you know? So the government should just continue, you know, amplifying, create more awareness, and also in terms of data, because I know when it comes to data, we only get to hear persons without disability, like the general information, but we don't get to hear the data of persons with disability who've been, you know, have experienced gender-based violence. I think the only data I've seen is from 2019, the census, and that is outdated. So if that can be, you know, put into
Updated,
consideration
yeah,
and
yeah,
updated, I
yeah.
think it would be nice. But I know the government is doing its best. But I wish they would just amplify,
Yeah,
and create
amplify
more
more.
awareness. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think when you talk about the organizations that are doing, what they can,
Yes.
it's amazing because when you look at the statistics, they say 1 in 3 women
Yes.
have gone through gender-based violence
Yes.
or will
Yes.
go through gender-based violence.
Yes.
So the thing is, when we are talking about this, we are not looking at hawa madem ama hawa wanawake. Are there disabled people?
Yes.
Are there we are talking about
The general.
general
yes,
statistics?
Yes.
Which I think would help. Vile unasema, it would help if we had statistics za kuna hawa disabled people.
Yes.
And we've seen, I think, mostly in villages, we've seen people that have gone through it, and then unapata wazazi nikai nakanyagiwa chini.
Chini ya maji
And that's why we
kabisa.
come to our society.
Yes.
What do you think we as a society we are contributing to the fact that disabled people are not even heard? Because before we go to disabled people,
Yes.
even abled people
Yes.
are not heard sometimes because of society pressure, whatever the society has set for us.
Yes.
So what do you think the society is contributing towards that?
Yeah, 2 things I'll just like to mention is discrimination and
Yeah.
stigmatization.
Wow.
Because, persons with disabilities tend to face layers of vulnerability. And one thing I've realized, like any person who has a disability, when they get pregnant, there are always eyes where people are like, ata huyu. Like men are cruel, but they forget that, this is a mutual agreement.
Yeah.
And so for someone who has been violated unwillingly, and they did not consent to having, such things happening to them, and they have a disability, they feel like even if I go and report, what will be done? And I wish the society would just embrace the different types of disabilities and include us in different spaces, because we also matter, and we will definitely make a difference when it comes to the society.
Yeah. So the thing is, anyone that has a disability, they are first a human being.
Yes.
Before we now start looking at hawana hii, ama they are different,
Yes.
ama they are going through this. So as a society, we need to work on stigmatization.
Yes.
Which you faced ukiwa
Yes.
a younger
Yes.
girl.
Yes.
And just, do you think creating awareness,
Yes.
just us knowing, because I think sometimes people do not discriminate someone because they hate them. Sometimes I feel it's because they don't understand.
Yes.
Maybe someone is thinking, "Ako sawa, like how can I help?
Yeah.
Do they need help?"
Yes.
We had a conversation here with another lady, and she was saying sometimes it's hard. There's like a wall for abled people and disabled people, because you're an abled person and you're thinking, nimsaidia amani,
Yeah.
like, do you think creating awareness? Are you understanding me?
Yes, I totally understand you.
Do you think as a society, when we have more awareness
Yes.
on disabilities,
Yes.
that can help?
Yes, it can help, because if there's one thing I believe in, is knowledge is power. And when people are empowered, it becomes even easier for them to interpret things, for them to be able to see how do we go moving forward. And I think when we continue speaking about such conversations, when we just do it once, then it doesn't, stick into people's minds, heads, But when we continue talking about it, amplifying and reminding people that they are part of our society, they are part of our community, then that will bring the whole difference in society.
Yeah, for
Yes.
sure. So we need to be intentional.
Yes.
We need to be very intentional with knowing, and even, let's Google.
Yes.
I think let's Google about these conditions,
Yes.
because you see, mtu mwenye hajawahi patana na maybe someone who can't hear or who can't see, they have no idea how to deal with such a person.
Yes.
And before we get to a place where we can have systems that are really totally considering everyone,
Yes.
I think as a society, be an ally to make sure that we know things, knowledge, we know things. And we thank God for social media, we thank God for Google, yeah? So
Yeah.
let's talk about, you mentioned about caregivers.
Yes.
We've heard of caregivers that have been the perpetrators.
Yes.
Caregivers that are the bad people, whether a woman or a man, have caused pain, molested the person with disability. How can we get to have freedom as people with disability? Freedom knowing that nikiwachia huyu, the caregiver, they are safe. What are the, what can I say? What are the factors that we can check for a caregiver to know that we are safe, our people are safe?
I don't think there are specific things we can look at, because I'll start with myself before now I delve into other persons with disability.
Yeah.
As I mentioned, I'm a community child, so I was raised by different people, you know, and each caregiver or each home I was at, there was a way they would treat me, you know, and just take care of me and protect me in the best way they knew how. And so for caregivers, if you are a mother, you are probably a guardian. You are someone who has just, you know, agreed to take care of this person with disability. If that is something you yourself, you know, decided to do that, please do it wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
And if you don't trust someone, or if your instinct tells you like someone, you know, cannot be trusted, please don't bring your child, you know, or this particular person with a disability close to that person. Also, the other thing is the environment they are in. If you feel like your child or the person with a disability is behaving differently, maybe there's something off about them, please just find out. Probably something is not well with them.
Yeah.
And when you find out, you know, ask and inquire and just see how best to help them. I think that way, that could be one of the ways that could work out. But also for those caregivers who are self-centered, who, you know, are not willing to take care of this person with disability, please stop exploiting them, taking advantage, because they are human beings too, and they are on this planet for a reason. They are on this planet for a purpose. If you don't feel like you want to help them or support them, then just leave them. Why take advantage of them? Why molest them? Maybe why lock them, you know, in a place because you feel that their kind of disability, sorry about that, might infect someone else, or it might not add value to the society. Just please stop. It's not good. Yeah.
How can we build self-esteem to people with disabilities wenye wamefungiwa? Because we've seen, I think even now we've seen, I'm sure you've seen more people coming out.
Yes.
I've seen a lot of people with prosthetics, and they're taking pictures and they're proud.
Yes.
But how can we, how could you advise someone that is amefungiwa ama really hata inaweza kuwa si physically amefungiwa na maybe wazazi wake, but even them wamejifungia because they're feeling I'm different, I can't. What would you advise this person at home?
I think for me, what I would advise them is self-acceptance is a journey. It's not a one-day thing that you just wake up one morning and decide, hey, I have embraced who I am. It's a journey. And as much as people will talk to you and tell you you matter, you are important, you know, you can add value and stuff like that, if it doesn't come inside of you, then it will not make any difference. And so I would encourage anyone who is still struggling with self-esteem, as long as you have a community of people you can lean on, please lean on them, talk to them, share with them how you're feeling each single day. Also work on yourself, because, you know, if you don't work on yourself, then it becomes even difficult for other people to support you. And I know it's a journey. It's not easy. I've been there, by the way. And just take one day at a time. You know, start with something small. Like, for example, for me, I didn't just wake up and now, you know, started shooting content in CBD. No, it was a journey. Like I mentioned, with my friends, with my family members, it was one step at a time. And me also changing my mindset and being like, okay, yes, I have a disability, but this is who I am. It's not like now my leg is going to grow and I'll change and be like, you know, a regular person or a person without any disability. It's been a journey. So I just encourage them to not give up on themselves, to continue, you know, taking a day at a time and believing in themselves.
Yeah. Yes. So now that we have told them, we've told them how they can build their self-esteem.
Yes.
Let's say this person is in a relationship and for sure they're facing GBV, different types, maybe physical, emotional, financial, and they want to leave. From the conversation we've had, it's already difficult for people that are able to leave because of, you know, maybe they are threatened, maybe they are having traumas and they can't leave. Now let's go to people with disability.
Yes.
You've told them how they can gain their self-esteem again and accept themselves. But this person is in an abusive relationship and they want to leave. What do you think they should do? Let's say maybe someone is blind or someone is deaf or someone is an amputee.
Yes.
What is the best way for them to live safely?
Yes.
Yeah.
Let me just give a small story of a story I was given. I never got to meet this particular lady, but the person who was talking to me was telling me, I wish this lady had met you, because she was an amputee and she was in a relationship. And the relationship she was in, the guy used to abuse her, you know, not physically, but with words. You know, the guy would call her different types of names, which kind of lowered her self-esteem, kind of made her feel bad about herself. And, you know, she was depressed and she later on passed on. And for me, I think what I would like to tell someone who is in a relationship that is abusive, whether it's physical, whether it's mental, please get out of that relationship if you can. And find someone you trust, someone you can share, you know, what you're going through, for them to also help you in reporting and also getting you out of that place. Because if you don't do that, people will not know that this is something you're going through. But when you talk to someone you trust, not just every other person, but someone you trust, it could be a family member, it could be a friend who would really be there for you to support you and walk with you in that particular journey, please do that. And there are also contact numbers where, you know, people can report gender-based violence. If you have a phone, please do that. Whether you are in a remote area, you know, rural area, or you are in Nairobi and you are really trying to figure out how to go about it, please start where you are with someone you trust, and they'll be able to guide you and help you. But get out of that relationship.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So these are your words. The future must be inclusive, and I'm not just ready for it. I am ready. I'm already building it. What is the world that you see in future? What is a beautiful world in your head that you see in future regarding GBV and people with disabilities?
I think I see a world that embraces every kind of disability. I see a world that accepts us the way we are, a world that, you know, walks with us in the journey of our different types of disabilities, and just remind us why we are the way we are and why we matter. And people, you know, being empowered, people doing what they love doing, whether it's fashion, whether it's, you know, being a teacher, a doctor, you know, whatever you wish to do. But I just see a beautiful world that embraces all the different types of disabilities generally.
Awesome, awesome. And you're already, and you're already building that world.
I am.
by using your social media.
Yes.
And before we close, because of time, social media is a very crucial thing for us in this society.
Yes.
How do you think it has impacted your people? When you look at whatever you've been doing, you've already been advocating, you have a podcast,
Yes.
yeah, people come and speak. How do you think you have impacted people, especially in your area, people with disabilities, amputees? Yes.
I think for me, it's from the stories I hear, whether it's just on my page or people I meet physically. I remember one time I went to, someone had invited me to an event to just share my story, basically.
Wow. Okay.
And I didn't know that there was a mother in that particular forum who has a daughter with a disability. The daughter is around 8 or 9 years old. And after the session, she approached me and she told me, "Thank you. You have no idea, as a mother, when I look at my daughter, I was never sure how she would turn up, to be. But when I look at your videos and the way you're walking, you're modeling, you're embracing yourself, has kind of given me, a new leaf to life. I'm like, I need to be there for my daughter. I need to walk with her in this journey." For me, that was really encouraging. And it kind of validated me just to know that, okay, I'm on the right path and I need to continue doing this. Yes. And even people I've just met on the road, who don't know me, but they look at me and they're like, "This face looks familiar, but yeah, you're doing a good job." That I think those are some of the things that just make me, or they push me and remind me the reason why I even started this whole thing at the beginning.
Awesome.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank
you for being a voice and bringing impact to this world, not only to people with disabilities, but even to able-bodied people.
Yes.
Because for me, for sure, I have learned so much, and I think I'm going to be intentional to even Googling other types of disabilities so that I can know, and so that in case I come across someone and I can know how to handle them, because now I have knowledge about it. Yeah, so asante sana, and also thank you so much for even approaching me iyo siku in March. So that's what have led to this, to us having a conversation. Yes. Which I'm so grateful for you that you came. You are advocating for inclusion for people with disabilities. Yes. And in this case, you have been listening to people. You have offered yourself to hear. Yes. Because, most people are looking for someone to just listen to them. Mtu tu asikie, like anisikize tu, and then I can see someone that is the same with me. Someone with disability akikuona and I feel, wow, I can do this. I'm beautiful. I can do fashion. I can dance. Yeah?
Yeah. And
you're also encouraging parents maybe with children with disabilities so that they know how to handle their children. Yes. So thank you so much for coming. And may God bless you so, so much. And I hope we'll have another sit down. Yes. I don't know when, but I hope we will. So as we close, you can tell us again your name, what you do, and maybe how people can find you, and a parting shot for anyone that could be in your position, what you would want to tell them.
Okay.
Yeah, that's your camera.
My name is Magdalene Chisoli. My friends call me Meg. I'm a fashion content creator, street model, community manager, and a disability advocate. I'm really happy to be here, and my parting shot would be you. Be the authentic you, because your story matters too.
Wow.
Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much, Maggie. Thank you so much.
I really appreciate it.
Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for staying. I really hope that you've learned something, because I have. And I'm going to be intentional. That is what I've taken from here. I'm going to be intentional to know different disabilities, to learn about them. And that is by Googling and also by having conversations with people. And thank you, Tena. This is Simama Talks. My name is Celeste Ngashohe. You can follow us on our social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, Kiambu TV. And also on my social media platforms, Celeste Ngashohe, on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, and Instagram Simama Initiative. If you'd want to talk to us, there's a number on your screen. Call us, WhatsApp us, message us, and also if you'd want to come and share your story, have a conversation on gender-based violence, you can also reach us on our email, gashohecelestine@gmail.com. Thank you so much for being with us. Until next time, God bless you.